What's going on, guys? Bringing you another video about my Robinhood portfolio. This time wanting to discuss why I will be increasing a position with Ally. Overall, some of the reasons you may want to increase your position is mainly because you're just coming upon funds that you want to invest more. Maybe you have a feeling the company is going to grow more. You've been listening to some of the events and been reading some of the filing the company has been doing to help themselves in the future, and I think Ally is doing all those things. I have read through their 10K, recently looked over their 10Q, and in a time where the market was a little tough for banks, I think Ally is doing well. If you do not know, Ally is an online banking institution. So they do not have too many physical locations. Their main way of accessing the customer is through the internet and through mobile applications and whatnot. So why am I increasing my position with Ally? I don't really invest too much based on dividend, but Ally is increasing their dividend starting Q3 in 2017. I believe that is going up by 4 cents per share. I think they were paying 8 cents per share. Once the board approves the dividend increase, that should go up to 12 cents per share. Another reason I'm wanting to increase my position with Ally is they actually did well on the stress test. Now, the financial stress test that a bank goes through kind of tests their balance sheet and their financial statements on how well or how terrible will that company be if the economy tanked or we went through a stock crash or the employment rate skyrockets. And Ally actually has a good enough balance sheet to not only make it through a financial crisis, but also be able to maintain their dividend. That dividend may be adjusted downwards, or even in a real case, they might actually stop paying dividends. But I would rather a company stop paying dividends and focus on making it through a financial crisis than going bankrupt. So I think Ally is in a pretty good place as far as the stress test, and and that's another reason why I am increasing my position with them. Another reason I'm choosing to increase my position with Ally is that 2016 was a tough year in terms of consumers using credit. So in 2016, and actually the trend is continuing into 2017, but consumers are not borrowing money as much as they usually are. That's usually how banks make their money. We take out loans, we pay them interest, they get the principal we took out back plus interest. There's also a detailed video about how a bank lends out your money when you put it on their accounts, be it a checking account or a savings account. But even though 2016 and 2017 will be terrible years as far as consumers borrowing money, Ally is still doing just fine. They're making profits. They're still positive as far as their earnings per share. They can still maintain, and they're also increasing their dividend. Another good stat you want to look at when you're trying to grow your position with the company is how expensive are their shares. And the way to tell how expensive a share is to look at their PE ratio versus the average PE ratio for their sector. So Ally's PE ratio right now is 10, and that PE ratio changes with the price of their share. So when I first bought Ally, you can see my average cost was about $18.91 there. Their PE ratio was actually lower at 8 point something, But now that they're up to $21, their PE ratio is at 10%. Now, the average PE ratio for the financial banking sector is somewhere around 20 to 22%. So Ally is actually cheap right now. So if your PE is lower than the average for that company sector, that company's share price is cheap. As long as the company's doing well, there might be a reason why that their PE ratio is low. But just make sure the company has a positive earnings, make sure they have growth potential, and make sure that they're doing things to actually help them in the future. All right, guys. Well, that's all I have today. I wanted to kind of share why I am improving or increasing my position with Ally, mainly because of those points I just discussed. I am looking forward to the increased dividend because I think it's nice to include shareholders in on a company's profits. So they also just acquired TradeKing, which is a investment platform. So I think that platform will help them grow their profits in the future as well. So, okay, guys, if you have any questions for me, go ahead and list them in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.